Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Nerd News. I'm your host, Evan from HIMediaTV, and today I want to talk about Shadow of the Erdtree. No spoilers, nothing of that nature. Don't worry, don't click off just yet. But I do want to talk about a phenomenon going on in the Steam reviews at present. So, there's been Shadow of the Erdtree, as of yesterday afternoon when I last checked, is currently sitting at mixed. Elden Ring DLC sitting at mixed reviews. Now, how does this happen? Well, the problem is that you had a lot of people going into this DLC with their over-leveled, overpowered characters thinking it was going to be a wash, thinking they were going to be able to curb stomp through everything. And these people were upset that they were not. They don't go off really the beaten path. They don't collect the items necessary to get your Shadowland rank up. There's a system that makes you more powerful in the Shadowlands, so it's like a secondary scaling option, basically. And these people are not happy. You also have people who are playing it for the first time. This is their first Soulsborne-y, like they're playing Elden Ring for the first time, and they're just having a really difficult time. And to both of these groups of people, I say the words, get good. Get good. Get good. Because Miyazaki said, verbatim, you're not going to be able to just bring your over-level character in and curb stomp everybody. You're going to need to engage with the mechanics, the Sekiro-like power-up mechanics, to do that. And to do that, you have to explore, you have to do quests, you have to play it like you are playing Elden Ring for the first time, because he wanted people who have over-level characters to be able to play it like they're playing it for the first time. And if I'm being perfectly honest, that's great. I am one of those people with a very much over-level character. My character is level 600 plus. I had every weapon in the base game maxed out to like maxed level. I had basically everything except like half the shields in the game maxed out to max level. I'm level 600. I'm on journey number 42. For Christ's sakes, I'm goofy, overpowered. But I didn't walk into this thinking it was going to be a cakewalk. I walked into this knowing it was going to be ball-bustingly hard. Like a FromSoft game should be. When you're playing this game, your stats really aren't the most important thing. Sure, they help a little bit, but they might give you a little bit of a buff. But by and large, the important thing about getting your intelligence, arcane, dexterity, strength up is to be able to use weapons on a new character. The purpose of getting your vigor and of getting your like upgrading all of your stats is to get your things like your resistances, your equip load, your ability to your discovery, all those things, is to get those up. That's the purpose of Shadow of the Erdtree. It is arguably takes away the need for having to have an optimized quote-unquote character, because you can just the way the game is set up, it's centered around the Sekiro remembrances thing, where it's like instead of remembrances, it's items you have to collect to level up, continuously fostering that notion of explore, gain power. And the amount of people, and I went against one of the earlier bosses, the wall that a lot of people, the first boss that people usually find in the initial area while exploring and then beat their head against. He's hard, and I beat him, and I found a cheese strat to do so. But, I'm, Shadow, I had my level for, damage, putting out and taking damage is now, I think, I have it at level 12, 13, 14. And, the fights and the bosses and all that are now manageable. I'm not doing too bad. I've still hit a wall in the story, and I still have to go explore and do stuff. And honestly, there's a part of me that might just go back to the base game, start New Game Plus, redo the DLC from where I'm at, so I'm in like a better, damage spot, and I'm not struggling as much. But like at the end of the day, it's like Miyazaki made this DLC for the purposes of people like me being able to play Elden Ring again for the first time. The wonder, that experience, that love of exploration, it's there, and I love it, and it's fantastic. And there's entire quest lines that like take you away from like other aspects of like the main part of what you're doing, and you're just like, oh, I'm just like, it feels like I'm. NPCs hyping up a legendary boss, and I have to go on this grand journey to climb the mountain to fight this grand boss, and it's wonderful. All of it's wonderful, and I fundamentally, at the end of the day, think that people who have been playing Elden Ring like me, Elden Ring has turned into a sort of comfort game for me. I can go through the main bit of the game and absolutely decimate anyone and anything I'm interacting with. It's absolutely goofy the amount of shit I do in that regard. But the idea that you think the DLC is going to all be that comfort game? No, it's what you were playing Elden Ring like in the first place. It can eventually become that comfort game once you've kind of gotten all of the boss tells down and the cheese strats right, and that's all well and good, but you got to get there first. You got to put the work in. You got to explore. You can't just have your level 600 plus character carry you through the entire game, because it's not going to work that way. So I say what I said at the beginning of this: get good and enjoy exploring the lands between the lands between. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your HIMedia Nerd News by HIMediaTV. Thank you so very much for listening. If you want to join our community and talk about things discussed here today, you can do so at himedia.gg/discord. We'd love to have you in our community. Thank you so very much for listening, and I will see you guys next time.